What if you could unlock untapped potential within your organization simply by being more curious? Think about it. The simple act of asking questions, of wanting to know more, can be a game changer. Welcome to the curious case of curiosity. It's a concept that's been around as long as humanity itself. From the moment we're born, we're driven by a desire to understand, to explore, to learn. It's this innate curiosity that has led us to where we are today, a world filled with innovation and constant evolution. So what does it mean to lead with curiosity? Simply put, it means to foster a mindset of continuous learning and innovation. It's about creating an environment where asking why, how, and what if is not only encouraged but celebrated. It's about seeing challenges not as roadblocks but as opportunities for growth and discovery. Let's take a hypothetical scenario for a moment. Imagine a team working on a project that's hit a wall. The traditional approach might be to buckle down, push harder, and stick to what you know. But what if instead you paused, asked questions, explored different angles? You might discover a new approach, a fresh perspective, an innovative solution. That's the power of curiosity. Leading with curiosity is not about having all the answers, it's about fostering a culture that values questions as much as answers. It's about embracing the idea that the status quo can always be improved, that there is always something new to learn, something more to understand. Think about some of the most innovative companies of the 21st century. What sets them apart isn't just their products or services, it's their willingness to question, to challenge, to explore. It's their commitment to learning, to growing, to evolving. And at the heart of it all is a simple yet powerful trait: curiosity. So, here's a thought. Next time you're faced with a challenge or a problem, don't just seek solutions, seek understanding, seek knowledge, seek growth. To lead with curiosity is to embrace the unknown, to seek answers, to ask questions, and above all, to learn. Did you know that the most innovative leaders are often the most inquisitive? That's right. Leadership isn't just about giving orders or making decisions. It's about asking the right questions at the right time. It's about fostering an environment where curiosity isn't just welcomed, it's celebrated. Think about some of the most successful leaders you know. Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Richard Branson. What do they all have in common? They're relentlessly curious. They're not afraid to ask why or why not. They're always looking for new ideas, new ways of doing things. They're always questioning the status quo. Let's take Steve Jobs, for instance. He once said, "Stay hungry, stay foolish." This wasn't just a catchy motto, it was the ethos that drove Apple to become one of the most innovative companies in the world. Jobs was known for asking challenging questions, for pushing his team to think outside the box. He asked why not when others were asking why. Similarly, Elon Musk, the CEO of SpaceX and Tesla, is known for his first principles approach to problem solving. Instead of accepting things as they are, he questions everything. He asks what if, and how can we make this better? His relentless curiosity has led to groundbreaking innovations in electric vehicles and space travel. And then, there's Richard Branson, the founder of the Virgin Group. He's famous for his adventurous spirit and his willingness to take risks. But at the heart of it all is a deep-seated curiosity. He's always asking questions, always seeking to learn more, to understand better. It's this curiosity that has fueled his entrepreneurial success. So what can we learn from these leaders? It's simple. Curiosity is the cornerstone of innovation. It's the driving force behind growth and success. As leaders, we need to encourage curiosity. We need to ask questions, to challenge the status quo, to seek out new ideas and new ways of doing things. In the world of leadership, the power of a well-placed question cannot be underestimated. How can we foster a culture of continuous learning and innovation? That's our focus for this segment. Let's dive in. Cultivating a continuous learning mindset within an organization is much like planting a seed. It starts small, but with the right care and nourishment, it can grow into a robust tree of knowledge and innovation. And the key ingredient to this process? You guessed it, curiosity. Encouraging curiosity within your team is akin to watering that seed. It enables team members to ask questions, to explore, and to seek understanding. It drives them to challenge the status quo and look for ways to improve. It's not about having all the answers, but rather about seeking them out. And that's where the magic happens, where innovation comes to life. Let's take a look at a case study to illustrate this. Imagine a company, let's call it Company X. They were stuck in a rut, doing the same things the same way, year after year. They decided to shake things up, to encourage their employees to be curious, to learn, and to innovate. They started small, with weekly brainstorming sessions and training workshops. They provided resources for self-learning and encouraged employees to share their knowledge with their peers. Slowly but surely, they began to see a shift. Ideas were flowing, processes were improving, and the employees were more engaged. They were not just doing their jobs, they were learning, growing, and contributing in meaningful ways. This is the power of cultivating a continuous learning mindset. But remember, this didn't happen overnight. It took time, patience, and dedication. It required leadership that was willing to take risks, to challenge the norm, and to foster a culture of curiosity and learning. And most importantly, it required a team that was willing to embrace this mindset, to be curious, and to continuously learn and innovate. So as we wrap up this segment, let's remember, cultivating a continuous learning mindset is not an overnight process. It requires patience, dedication, and a whole lot of curiosity. Embrace this journey, and let the seeds of curiosity and learning bloom into a garden of innovation. Is curiosity a risk worth taking? Let's dive into that a bit, shall we? Leading with curiosity, like anything else in life, presents its own set of challenges and opportunities. The risks are real, but so are the rewards. Let's start with the risks. Curiosity, in its raw form, can be a double-edged sword. It can lead to innovation, yes, but it can also lead to a rabbit hole of endless questions with no definitive answers. In leadership, this can translate to a lack of focus, an inability to make decisive decisions, or even a tendency to chase after shiny new things at the expense of current projects. It's like opening Pandora's box. Once you let curiosity out, it can be hard to put it back in. But, on the flip side, the rewards of curiosity are immense. Let's look at the case of the Post-it note. The invention of this ubiquitous office supply was not a result of a carefully laid out plan, but of curiosity. Dr. Spencer Silver, a scientist at 3M, was actually trying to develop a super strong adhesive. Instead, he ended up with a weak, repositionable one. The discovery could have been dismissed as a failure, but Silver's curiosity led him to see its potential. It took several years and a lot of trial and error, but eventually the Post-it note was born. Today it's hard to imagine an office without them. So, does curiosity come with rare of risks and rewards? But as the saying goes, fortune favors the bold. So go ahead, be bold, be curious. You never know where it might lead. So what have we learned about leading with curiosity? We embarked on this journey by exploring the curious case of curiosity itself. We discovered that curiosity is not just a trait, it's an instinctual drive, a deep-seated desire to know, understand, and explore. It's the fuel which propels us forward, pushing the limits of our knowledge and understanding. We then delved into the power of questions. We learned that asking questions is not just about seeking information, it's about challenging assumptions, provoking thought, and inspiring creativity. It's about opening doors to new possibilities and pathways to innovation. Remember, it was the simple question of why do apples fall straight down? That led to the discovery of gravity. Next, we talked about cultivating a continuous learning mindset. We learned that to lead with curiosity, we must first become students ourselves. It's about embracing the unknown, seeking out new experiences, and continuously striving to learn and grow. It's about creating a culture where questions are encouraged, where learning is celebrated, and where every failure is seen as an opportunity to learn and improve. Then we discussed the risk and reward of curiosity. We acknowledged that curiosity comes with risks. It can lead to mistakes, failures, and even setbacks. But we also learned that these risks are outweighed by the potential rewards. Curiosity drives innovation, fosters resilience, and ultimately leads to success. So, in essence, leading with curiosity is about more than just asking questions and seeking answers. It's about fostering a culture of continuous learning, embracing the risks, and reaping the rewards of innovation. It's about seeing the world not as it is, but as it could be. It's about igniting the spark of curiosity within ourselves and those we lead. As we continue our leadership journeys, may we never lose our sense of curiosity, for it is the spark that ignites the flame of innovation and continuous learning.